U.S. President Joe Biden is calling on Israeli leaders to take advantage of this moment and make a new push for a ceasefire in Gaza now that Israeli forces have killed Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar.
Now is the time to move toward a ceasefire in Gaza. Make sure that we move in the direction that we're going to be in a position to make things better for the whole world. It's time for this war to end and bring these hostages home.
Well, this is not the end of the war in Gaza. It's the beginning of the end.
That is Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, as you hear, making it clear the Israeli ground offensive in Gaza won't end just yet. But this is a moment of uncertainty. Top U.S. officials blamed Sinwar for ceasefire negotiations hitting a roadblock back in the summer. But his killing is raising new questions about how any talks could and would go forward. Let's go live to Jerusalem for more on the story. Crystal Gomansing covering things for us. And we're going to begin with a significant new development this hour. Crystal, we've been waiting for some sort of response from Hamas since the killing of Sinwar. Now, the first Hamas statement. What is the group saying?
That's right, Heather. Bassem Naim has provided a statement to the AFP news agency. And as you mentioned, it's really the first official comments we've had. I'll give you a look at the statement here and read part of it for you. It says that Hamas is a liberation movement led by people looking for freedom and dignity, and this cannot be eliminated. He goes on to say it seems that Israel believes that killing our leaders means the end of our movement and the struggle of the Palestinian people. Now, Heather, it's critical to look at the language around here. Well, he talks about leaders being killed and Israel believing that killing the leader. He never actually says and confirms that Yahya Sinwar was in fact killed yesterday by Israeli forces, as they say, in the Rafah area. Now, reaction to the death in Gaza has been coming forward for a number of hours since it was announced. I want to give you a listen to how two individuals in Khan Yunis responded. And Khan Yunis is the area in which Sinwar was born.
خبر استشهاد القائد يحيى السنوار كانت ضربة صاعقة للشعب الفلسطيني ونتنياهو لن يتوقف. نحن عارفين هذا الكلام، كل الشعب الفلسطيني مستهدف، مش السنوار فقط لا غير، لانه كل يوم مجازر.
تعودنا على انه استشهاد القاده دافع للمقاومه ان تشتد ويخلف القاده قاده اقوى واصلب.
So talking about the leaders, no word yet if a new leader will or has been chosen. A number of high-ranking officials, including Hamas's leader, killed by Israeli operations in not only Gaza, but of course in Lebanon as well. Now here in Israel, last night when this was officially confirmed, there were celebrations in a number of locations, people taking to the street. There was dancing and waving of flags and music, a very jubilant scene with an expression of a little bit of anxiety, but a lot of hope. Today, reaction a little bit more muted.
The war should stop, and I hope it's going to be a positive stage for the state of Israel.
Look, I think this is genuinely good news. I think twice over, first of all, because he was an evil man.
One thing we are hearing from so many people here in Israel is that they want the government to start focusing or focus more attention on returning those 101 hostages still believed to be in Gaza. They say that is the crucial point right now. It's unclear how many of those individuals, Heather, are still alive.
Crystal, in fact, we heard Joe Biden at the beginning of our program this hour urging leaders of Israel to take this moment and move toward a ceasefire deal and that hostage deal as well. But I was mentioning the uncertainty around this moment. So what are you watching for specifically next in the story?
Well, there's a couple of sort of points here. Number one, we are still seeing activity by the IDF in Gaza, operations ongoing. In fact, the IDF's Arabic spokesperson posting images on social media of a huge massing of troops, of tanks on the northern border. Now, that could be a sign of preparing to do something more. Maybe it's just posturing. We're also waiting for the arrival of the U.S. Secretary of State, Antony Blinken. He's expected to be in Israel, today, meeting with officials. No doubt he will be bringing Joe Biden's message of using this moment to talk peace, to try to de-escalate things, and ultimately get those hostages back. We know that Israel has said that is one of its main goals, but they've also said that they will not lay down arms as of yet. We're also keeping an eye on Lebanon. Those operations ongoing, the ground operations and aerial bombardments. A little bit later today, we are expecting the Italian Prime Minister, Giorgia Meloni, to be visiting the caretaker Prime Minister. She is obviously going to be focusing on the safety and security of UN peacekeepers. Italy has about 1,000 peacekeepers that are currently a part of UNIFIL and in the middle of the conflict right on the border, monitoring that blue line between Israel and Lebanon.
Crystal, thank you very much.